Shalom, shalom, family, and welcome back. This is Brother Maurice. We're going to talk about the 10 guidances, and we're going to go through and explain them. When these guidances were originally given, they were given as guidances, and later, over time, they evolved to be commandments of the Father. And these things began to be enforced on the people. But what we need to understand is the Father gives us our free agency, and our free agency to choose. Therefore, those that are righteous will choose to do these guidances. These guidances can be found in the book of remembrance of ancient grandmothers, in Grandmothers 3, starting at verse 8. So it says, and the Lord said, guidance number 1, you are to love our father Enochasi with all your heart and with all your mind and with all your power. And when I wondered what he meant by the word power, and he answered and said that your power comes from all your holy relationships with the spirits of life in that which is holy in creation. And the implications of this are staggering in the immensity of the scope of it. But let me say, it means to have the kind of relationship with element that expresses always and only the loving kindness of Enochasi with your fellows. And that love is unconditional, never varying away from his gracious nature. And many things raced through my mind that the Lord had taught during his walk upon the earth. And again, the Lord pointed and he said, guidance number 2, you are to always walk in the holiness of the sanctity of marriage and to anticipate it from your childhood. And again, great truths swept through my mind. And he said, the word anticipate means for you to be pure in heart and chaste from your childhood, awaiting for your rightful spouse and saving yourself solely for them and from all others. And I recalled the marriage counsel, which the Lord had brought to Enoch, which says that children should be taught from their childhood to have a deep expectation that they will be romantically attractive and completely loved by the spouse which Enochasi has created for them, as a man and a woman standing together before him. And the Lord said, guidance number 3, you are to follow no other example in religion but the loving kindness of Enochasi, and that which was established by the righteous with him during the first great sevening. And I immediately knew that this would exclude any use of religion for gain or to exert control over your fellows, or to use religion to bring assurances of yourself to a future that satisfies your desires for a place of good standing without the need to walk in repentance and humility and holiness with perfect virtue. And again, the Lord said, this is guidance number 4. Each person is to love their fellow and deem them equal to themselves. And the marvelous wisdom of this simple statement spoke loudly to my soul. And it would start with a person not classifying themselves or stigmatizing themselves as rich or poor, intelligent or ignorant, beautiful or ugly, nor important or unimportant. And if they did not classify themselves, they would not classify others and could truly see their fellow, no matter who they are, as equal to themselves. And the Lord said, this is guidance number 5. You are to respect and love your children and protect them from evil and diligently teach them the ways of holiness. And upon hearing this, it was immediately made known to me that when a parent follows this guidance, children will not have to be told to honor their father and mother. And children who have always known only respect and love can more easily respect and love their gift of life from our Father Anokaseed and grow to be wise during their passages. And they will love their elders, and they will be loved as elders in their old age. And the Lord said, this is guidance number 6. You are to purify yourselves by sevens in all things. And when I heard this, I knew that this was the basis for keeping the Sabbath day. And it was that which Shabuah was founded upon, and the weeks of the holy days, and the years of jubilees, and many such important observances. And I knew that Onokaseed himself used this guidance in the acts of creation by his son, Matzah the Lamb, when the world was created and Olam was transformed into Eden. And again, when the natural world of Eden was transformed into our temporal world during the first 7 generations of mankind. And the Lord said again, guidance number 7, you are to respect the creator Matzah the Lamb, that's Christ, who is himself the living water that issues forth to follow each person that finds breath and not lay claim to that which he has made for other persons. And my eyes were opened to know that this has far-reaching meaning in our lives. And we should be happily attached to the circumstances of our lives. And we should be content with our possessions and not desire to have what others may have acquired. And we are not to view our worth in terms of the satisfaction of possessions, nor should we allow ourselves to be controlled by longings for acceptance and high esteem and the ease of pleasures and comforts. And I felt the Spirit say that we should view as our possessions only that which Anokaseed has given to us to be ours. And I could tell how compatible having all things in common was to this guidance. And the Lord continued speaking, and he said, this is guidance number 8. You are to respect all life and guard with diligence all the lives of those who are the objects of creation. And of course, all human beings, whether they be friend or foe, holy or evil, powerful or weak, are in fact all the objects of creation, simply by being created as the children of Anoka seed. And I know this means all human life, even to include one's enemies. And it prohibits participating in war in any way. And it also prohibits infanticide of the unborn and using death as punishment. And continuing, the Lord said, this is guidance number 9. You are to seek no other authority than the authority of elder, which brings a response from the Irkadeshi, who are the holy watchers of heaven. And with clarity, I understood that this means we are not to pursue obtaining authority from the world by license or certification or appointment to position. And we are not to approach in any way obtaining authority by effective subletities over any person or creature. And lastly, the Lord said, you are to bear up under the burden of oppression without violence. And I know that oppression takes many forms, all the way from the imposition of impure moral values to being occupied by violent forces of the armies of nations. And that under these circumstances, loving enemies, praying for those who despitefully use you, and not resisting evil, but turning the other cheek, and blessing those who curse you, and doing good to them that hate you, are acts that reflect the very heart of our Father, Anoka seed. Well, family, those are the 10 guidances. And I pray that you are able to receive them. Love your family. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Shalom.